Okay, I'm gonna make everybody audible. Don't say anything weird.
Okay.
Anything weird. Wait, what?
You fool!
I've already ruined it.
Crazy. I was crazy once. They put me in a room,
Oh.
a rubber room
Dang.
room with rats. The rats made me crazy.
there
So
were
this stream
more
is going to
words
be
to
a bit
that.
short. Unfortunate.
I haven't heard that. Would you call it a copy pasta at this point? I guess
I guess.
in like forever. I get that reference.
Let's see. What's the origin of that? It's a copy pasta. It's difficult to pinpoint a definitive origin.
Dang. What do I do first to go to dungeon the 8th one? I already forget. Right. I got the Zora scale thing. That is where I go. What time period? I don't remember.
The last time I experienced the I was crazy once copy pasta was a video of like a bunch of Marine recruits that were locked inside of a shipping container as part of their training, and whenever they opened it up, they were all just repeating that over and over.
Yeah. Man, all the cool stuff is happening in different time periods. Hello, Cat
Hello.
Dreaming.
Cat Dreaming. Is Cat Dreaming on the Discord? I never see them. Or do they have a different Discord name?
I think they're sometimes on the Discord. It's not like active, I don't think.
Let me see.
I feel like most people you might see in chat are in the Discord somewhere.
Yeah, usually that is the case. Also, it's crazy to me that you have such a big Discord. Well, you know, by like compared to like a lot of other Discords. But it feels like not a lot of people hang.
Yeah, that seems to happen.
What's this about?
I mean, to be
hanging?
fair, literally me and every other server is just I'm there and I lurk occasionally.
Be
but
the
then
change you want to
otherwise,
see in the world, Jeff.
I suppose.
I've given up on this server entirely
I'm-
because people stopped responding to me requesting multiplayer games.
I've given up on this server because all the people I vibe with the most are in Swiss.
Dang.
No offense to anyone here.
What's that? Sorry, Jeff. The thing you said, I couldn't quite comprehend the word in it. Just came out as garbled noise on my end.
Which word would that be?
There are many words.
I mean- I don't know, because it became out as garbled noise.
Yeah, like that. I feel like that's the stage. Is that if he didn't hear a word, he can't repeat the word.
I need to enter
That was crazy.
in the present. Yeah, no, my server used to be a bit more active than presently.
Yeah? What happened?
I don't know.
Were they all
Life
waiting
with
for you to
people,
say fuck?
probably.
Yeah, you know what, Jeff? That's it, definitely.
Pirate.
Well, that's the thing. I think a lot of people either lost interest or just, you know, are busy.
Yeah,
It's really
I mean,
all it
generally
is.
a lot of people have just been way busier like past few years.
Oh yeah, welcome to the screen you can't access outside of a linked game. This is it. This is your linked game exclusive content.
Yay!
It hides the second of very good gacha spots. I don't need it in this game because I already got the heart piece, but you know. It's
Of
not a
course it
shortcut per se. Because I have to go here to interact with this pirate ship to progress the game. It's just that in a linked game, this pirate ship is in the present instead of the past. So you go to the past
Interesting.
version of this area, and there's no way to, like, use the harp on that particular screen. It's weird. Oh no. Well, at least you guys got over your seasickness. Okay.
And now they can dive underwater for 6 seconds.
Hooray! Granted, I don't think a skeleton is gonna have problems being underwater.
The density of the water might.
I mean, I suppose. Would a skeleton float? I'd assume not. But I don't know.
I still think about sometimes that I would like my dead body to be, like, disposed of in a way that could possibly end up with it being fossilized.
Dang.
Ooh, hi.
Hello.
Hello. Yo.
What up?
Yeah.
What up, my dudes? My people, my friends,
Because, like,
my...
Just the act of, like, taking someone's body and burying it, that is not going to get fossilized.
It requires an anaerobic environment.
Yeah, so, like,
With also the correct minerals
yeah.
to encourage mineralization of the bones.
I have killed all the mummies.
It is also possible for, like, a body that is underwater to fossilize, but it's a lot harder and rarer.
Yeah. If it's deep in the water, once it's deep enough to the point where you're in a zone of water where there's no oxygen content, and if there aren't any species of detritivores in that particular body of water, then you can have a preserved body in the water.
Yeah. Although, my current point in time is if I'm, like, really old and have enough money, I'm just gonna be like, alright, listen. I probably don't have long anyways, can I take a plane ride to somewhere that has, like, some sort of tar pit and just drown myself in that tar pit?
Dang.
I wouldn't recommend it.
I mean, if it was already, like, determined I was gonna be dying soon anyways, let's be real. It's a pretty good way to get fossilized.
I suppose.
It's also probably a lot more reliable than dying of natural causes and then having my body shipped and deposited into the tar pit. Because there will be some decomposition then.
And the tar pit's probably gonna have to pay some kind of fine.
When I'm done, just throw me in the trash. Well, like, that's like, everyone always criticizes, well, not nowadays, not as much, because it's becoming increasingly difficult to argue with evolution, the more evidence we acquire. But, back in the day, people used to argue about, like, oh, why is there a big gap in the fossil record for humans? How come we don't have direct ancestors? And I'm like, well, think about it. No person wants to live in a horrible environment, the type of horrible environments that are conducive to fossilization. Also, once we have evidence that culture started emerging like very early on within like the evolution of humanity, and so some of the oldest remains that we do have proof that we buried them with intent as a form of like religious ritual or just generally caring for our dead.
Yeah.
Which is also not conducive to fossilization.
Yeah. So it's kind of why I want to be an oddity among humans and end up fossilized in some way post-life.
You say oddity, but mummies have existed for, several thousands of years.
Yeah, but I'm talking about, like, an oddity of, like, nowadays humans.
People are embalmed whenever they die.
Yeah, but that wouldn't
As per
necessarily
normal funeral
being a
service.
fossil.
I suppose not.
Oh no, something Fawful has a rant about parents.
Wow.
I like how this room was definitely on purpose designed to be horrible if you are doing the randomizer of this game,
Oof.
requiring many different items to get through. They must have done this on purpose. They must have.
Totally.
Let.
Entirely the developer's fault and no one else's.
They must have been like, in the future, they're gonna try to randomize this game. So we're gonna screw with them. I forgot that opened the staircase. Alright, the last map.
Oh,
Farewell,
thank
Matt.
goodness, you got it.
What is it?
A yucks.
Yep, you're.
You right.
Mini yucks.
Mini yucks.
Oltec Camino. 4 Oltec Camino stuck together. Another Oltec Camino.
Dang. Unoriginal.
Well, they went out of budget for this dungeon.
Yeah,
Can't
probably
believe they
true.
predicted the yucks and mini yucks, though.
Yeah, that one's crazy.
Wild. Oh. Well. Why am I here then?
For fun.
Stonehead.
No, I keep finding it funny that I'm seeing, like, Switch 2 update logs for fucking Mario 3D All-Stars.
Dang.
Like, it's just like, okay, cool, nice one updating a game for the Switch 2 that you purposely delisted 4 years ago as part of an exclusivity publicity stunt.
Yeah!
Anyway, what are the odds do you think they're going to try and launch a Switch 2 version of that for Mario's 40th anniversary?
I don't know. There's a definite possibility of more Switch 2 versions.
Switch 2 version now featuring Galaxy 2. The Last Compass!
Not as
I
exciting.
wonder what its new feature is.
We'll never know. It didn't tell us. It's very sad.
Upsetting.
British, would you say you're pretty good at that counting minigame from one of the stadium games?
What, the Magikarp jump?
No. The one where you count the Pokemon on screen.
Oh, right, that one. Yeah, sometimes.
Stumbling Stampede?
Stumbling Stampede. I like Stumbling Stampede.
How many Pokemon do you think are here?
Okay. So, part of me doesn't even feel like fully counting. I might take a guesstimate.
Ouchie.
Fucking, there's a lot bunched up on that right side. Let's fucking lie out and I'll say 33. 33.
I count 34, but I've seen some people say 35.
Do you want to ask
Okay,
the
but what's
chat?
the answer though?
I don't know. I counted 34, but
Do you want to ask the chat?
sure, I'll post
Which
it.
is to say, you know, I need to be able to see it.
Yeah, I posted it in.
Well, I mean, I just looked at the best place I would presume this being posted from, Joe Merrick's Twitter, and that seems to say 33.
He says 33, but also, I've seen in replies that people are counting other numbers, so...
Pokemon.
Well, Red Eyes, you will see, you know that people count wrong in general. Like, you've seen the people play Stumbling Stampede, and that's a much easier game than a single screenshot of, like, varying resolution text to pop in.
Yeah, but, like, here I see 34, and I just counted from the right side of the screen going left. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27,
I
28,
can't
29,
tell if, like,
2, 30.
some of these are Pokemon or, like, a rock on the ground.
Okay, yeah, it is 35. I missed a Venomoth.
Okay.
Because I was
Anyway, point
counting
is, somewhere in the
35-ish,
30s.
so...
I can't be bothered counting.
Same. I don't even know why I put it on stream, but I did.
Well, it is interesting that the spawn cap of Pokemon went from 15 to 35 on Switch 2.
Thank goodness. I still feel like that many Pokemon just looks very weird to me, but...
Maybe it'll make the game feel more alive. Who knows?
I don't... It just seems strange that all of these, like, large creatures, like, relative to the size of, let's say, like, a dog, are,
Yeah.
like, there's just tons of them all around you. Okay, I said this before in other places, but it's just like, everyone's like, wow, you can go in that one lake in they showed in like the little preview video, and there's like 30 plus Pokemon just swimming around or on the island, and I'm just like, wow, I love just running through a minefield of creatures that are all just kind of bunched up here, I guess.
Yeah, that is my complaint with Scarlet Violet, is everything properly being in the overworld now means navigation is a lot harder.
Yeah. And also, I feel like they maybe could have done more for, like, field effect density rather than Pokemon density, you know. Like, maybe some more,
Like, that's the thing. I don't think having more Pokemon on screen is necessarily the upgrade that was needed.
Yeah. I think one thing that I am upset about, though, is Sword and Shield had, like, a good fade-in, fade-out of, like, Pokemon spawning and despawning. Where they basically, like, shrunk and grew.
Having fun that game, guy.
Well, I just wanted to kill the Moldorms.
This one's the funny use to kind of Mario one.
It is
right?
not.
Oh.
You need to end in the left-hand corner, it looks like. Or the up left.
Yeah. Trying to decide if I've made a mistake or not here.
You did now.
Yeah, I don't think I want to go that way, just like in general.
Going up, question mark?
Yeah, I might need to, because I don't think I can loop around quite right if I don't. It's so funny that that works. It's still a blue one. The bedrock. Ow.
Deserved.
It's a Porygon.
Whoa.
Right.
Dang.
I should make an appearance for the end of LPIA.
Yeah. Me too.
It'd be weird if you didn't have your appearance at the end of LPIA.
Can you imagine? I just don't show up.
Wow, game guy, I can't believe you vandalized.
Yes, please continue to stab me, Mr. Knight. I don't need full health. Who needs it?
Smash Ultimate and Nintendo Switch Sports have Switch 2 issues, but will be patched.
Oh no! What sort of issues do they have?
I don't know. The
Mysteriously.
website that talked about them, my computer, despite me making an exception for the website on my antivirus, still refuses to work with the website, so...
Mysteriously, there's an error in the Switch 2 version of Smash Bros. Where more characters were added, and oops, we didn't mean to.
Fucking imagine now.
We will be issuing a patch very soon to remove Gino from the game.
He was very unintended, please believe us.
We will be removing Goku in a future update.
Goku is not real. He cannot hurt you.
What would be like the funniest character for them to do that for? Like, it's gotta be either Gino or Waluigi, right?
Ashley.
I was on the they're definitely adding Ashley train when Ultimate was announced. I thought it was very real.
I didn't get turned into baby.
As someone who enjoys WarioWare, I would appreciate it, but I did not think it was very real.
Ow.
That being said, I also thought that like Shadow was the most obvious Echo fighter of all time.
Yeah, no, you and everyone else. And then they
The fact
just
they didn't do a Shadow is
and then they just
confusing.
didn't. I was like, why?
like even when we learned that Echoes could be pretty different than their base fighter, like with Ken and Ryu. Nope, sorry, no Shadow.
Which I still find super weird, by the way.
No, I agree. Ken shouldn't be an Echo.
Like, Ken is basically only an Echo because he was grandfathered into the role.
I like how Ken is an Echo, but Isabelle is not.
Yeah. Also, Freaking, if Ken is an Echo, Luigi should be by the same metric.
Luigi is like wildly different at this point.
Yeah,
but you're not wrong.
Yeah, no, the point is the etymological foundation of what constitutes an Echo fighter.
Yeah, because it's like if their intent is like this character is like
The OG Echo fighter.
originally a copy of this character, sort of thing, then like yeah,
Luigi.
because that is the case for some of them.
But also, why the fuck is Dr. Mario not an Echo?
Yeah, Dr.
Why does Dr. Mario get front row billing?
Because Mario lost the ability to tornado.
I don't know,
Okay, but like, other Echoes have different specials, like Ike. Not Ike, Roy and Quam have very
Roy and Quam, yeah.
different. Roy and Quam have very different up Bs.
I just feel like they didn't do as much as they could have with the Echo concept, and that will always make me sad.
Yeah, but like,
Yeah.
I don't blame them. Echoes were basically always a bonus character at the end of the day.
It almost makes me feel like Echoes, the concept of Echoes were introduced specifically so that people wouldn't be mad about Crom.
Probably.
I feel like also because people would have been mad about Dark Samus if she wasn't billed as, oh, by the way, we made a new category. I think people are still actually mad about Dark Samus because she could have been more.
She really could have been.
Yeah, but like, I'm glad we got her. I don't know that she necessarily needed to be much more than she was. Like, she could have been, but...
I mean, it's less of a need and more of a, like, there was potential there, but they decided to not.
yeah. I mean,
But
gestures wildly at Sonic.
Yeah, well, you know.
oh yeah,
I hate that Sonic is both, like, one of the most uninspired characters in franchise history, in, like, Smash history, and also is, like, one of the best characters in Ultimate. It's just sad.
I mean, you can both be uninspired and the best, unfortunately.
And it makes me sad.
hey, at least on the other side of the spectrum, we have Steve being incredibly inspired and also the best.
Yeah. But, like, from a design of, like, take inspiration from source material sense, Steve is one of the best in terms of, like, design of how to make a good Smash Bros. Character that, like, is fun to play as and against. He's one of the worst.
I like playing as Steve, and I think he's very funny to play against, but also I'm not a
At the very casual level, I will agree with you. But
yeah, I'm
the moment you
very-
start getting competitive, it's a nightmare.
Yeah,
I-
I mean, Sonic's kind of the same, but like, I'm speaking purely from a casual level because Steve is
Yeah, from a casual perspective, Steve is fucking hilarious.
Yeah, whenever I played Steve, considering I also played Inkling a lot, Steve just felt like melee Inkling to me. Melee as in, like, you know, not a projectile,
Close-
not a
close
ranged
range,
user. Yeah.
Yeah. No, I can see that.
'Cause he's got a very similar, like, resource management kind of play style.
It's not a DLC character if it doesn't have a bar.
God.
I mean,
I fucking
Dragon Quest-
Why is it that practically every DLC fighter has a bar or meter or like a gauge of some variety?
or a menu.
I mean, Hero has both.
Hero has
the
the
bar and the menu.
yeah,
People
Hero
hate
has
Hero
everything.
because random crits, and I think that's silly.
I like Hero because random crits.
Hero's hilarious.
Hero is genuinely one of my favorite
Do the
characters
spells
in
have a
Smash
chance
history.
to go haywire?
No, just what's the one? The one that just picks a random spell. I forget the name of it.
Hocus Pocus.
Yeah, that one.
Dang.
Hocus Pocus can cast any of the other spells and also a variety of positive or negative effects,
As
including making you
God.
invisible, invincible, giant, tiny, slow.
Tiny.
Hero is genuinely one of the most like they cared additions to Smash.
Absolutely.
Hero
And honestly, I
is
think Hero was massively overdue as it is.
Hero is the introduction of my favorite silly game mode in Smash. Everyone play Hero, and you must pick Kamikaze if it shows up.
Dang.
Yeah, spell spam and just spell roulette, and just hope Kamikaze doesn't show up, or if it does, you're probably at least killing somebody.
Yourself.
I mean, yeah.
And the thing is like when they announced, when the rumors were rumoring, and when they announced Hero, I hadn't played Dragon Quest XI yet because it wasn't out on Switch yet, and so I was like, I recognize the cultural significance and like the historical significance of this character. That's cool. The menu's really funny, but like I don't have a personal attachment. And then I played Dragon Quest XI, and now it's the best of both worlds, where it's very fun and silly, and also I like this character a lot.
Banger
Yeah.
game, by the way. Game Guy should stream.
I think Game Guy would like Dragon Quest XI.
I think
yeah,
he
I
would
think
For
too.
the record, it was on sale for like 50%, and I grabbed it because I figured,
Excellent.
you know
Yeah!
what, this is coming up at some point. I might as well.
Excellent. Yeah, I think that would make a good stream game for you. You've like have a good track record of like enjoying good RPGs on stream, so
Yeah. Like I
like how you
I
specified good RPGs.
What are some bad RPGs Game Guy has played on stream? Just for the record.
Octopath Traveler. What?
Oh, come on. That's rude.
I just don't like Octopath personally, but
I mean,
Yeah, but
it's a personal
I
thing.
personally love it.
has Game Guy actually played like anything genuinely bad? Like
I'd
personal
have
taste
to
aside.
look at the log.
Like bad RPGs, no. Bad games in general, maybe.
I don't like. Like, to me, a bad game is something that I just like refuse to finish.
Yeah, but even then, there's a difference between it not being your taste and it being bad.
Well, that's the other half of it. Because, like, there's a lot of instances where, like, Enter the Gungeon, for instance, like, that one's not for me, but, like, for the right person, it's probably great.
Yeah.
I've not played it, but largely I've heard a lot of good about it.
I
Yeah.
liked the aesthetic and, like, general vibe of the game. And then it just is like, oh, hey, get good,
Die.
idiot.
It's like bullet hell roguelike, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, that sort of game becomes very hit or miss for sure. It's like either you vibe with it or you don't.
I
The
think
art-
generally, I've said this when Game Guy was discussing the potential future of Backlog Clog, but like I think generally RPGs and platformers are the safest bet, generally broadly speaking. Like there's gonna be exceptions here and there, both on the wouldn't make a good Scream game despite being of those genres and would make a Scream game despite not being.
Oh,
Well-
at some point I have to go back to Sackboy's Adventure and collect things because of connection issues that happen on Game Guy's stream.
Yeah, a little bit butts.
Did you play either of the last two generations of Pokemon on stream? Because there you go.
I
He's
did
played
Scarlet.
Gen 9.
There,
Yeah.
see, there's your bad RPG you played on.
I wouldn't call Scarlet a bad
I
RPG
know.
though.
It's bad.
Oh, there was a
and
chest
an
at the
RPG.
top of the room, wasn't there?
It's play like an actual 5 out of 10, please.
Time to suggest Sonic Chronicles.
Hey,
All right.
there we go. Now that's about RPG. I need to
See-
play Sonic.
See, here's the thing: is like I've heard in recent days a couple of random people say like, music aside, there's actually an interesting game here, and I just don't
Like-
buy it.
I mean, Sonic Chronicles, from what I've gathered, like gameplay-wise, boils down to poor man's Elite Beat agents.
Okay, I was gonna say I could have sworn I just get the boss keys somewhere.
Did you
Which,
just delete
yeah,
a
you
thing from
do
existence?
like basically rhythmically timed circle touching in a way that resembles Elite Beat agent.
I'm sold. I'm in.
But also you get very
Wait, is it like actually like rhythm to the music, or is it just
not
like...
to the music
Okay.
at all.
Because that would have been comical given the circumstance.
Yeah, it's not to the music at all. I could say the raw gameplay feel is poor man's Elite Beat agents in the fact that if you made it good, it could probably resemble Elite Beat agents, but at the moment it's just like visually similar. And that's it.
So, Fawful, I'm in a weird place with Sticker Star, honestly.
Oh boy, is it Game Guy going down that rant hole?
Game Guy
Does
in
does
recent
it qualify
time,
as an RPG?
Game Guy in recent
Debatable.
time has joined me in the good fight of Sticker Star isn't as bad as people say it is. You guys
I
are
would have done this literally since day one. Like,
Oh, what have I?
I genuinely do not understand the vitriol so many people have for this game.
Like, so I watched through a playthrough of it recently. I haven't played it, but I finally watched through a full playthrough to get the full sense of what the game actually is. And I think I would agree, from what I've seen, that it's not as bad as people say it is, but it is still bad.
Well, I'm not gonna defend, like, it being, like, best game ever or anything. Like,
No.
not even close. But, like...
But like I do
Put it
feel
like
like people are way too
4
hard
out of
on
10.
it. Like, maybe
It
also
has,
maybe
it has a couple of moments, it has some charm, but like it makes so many like deliberately antagonistic to the player decisions that are just not cool.
Not cool, Squidward.
don't
Uncool.
say that again. But I don't know. Maybe I'm just of the mindset of like, at the very least, the let's say archetype of Nintendo fans who basically only stay in their own lane and don't play anything else ever. Like, upon experiencing anything that is even remotely okay at best, declare it to be the worst thing ever made. I'm like...
I mean, there's a meta layer to Sticker Star too. It's like Sticker Star had a lot of problems, but on top of that, it also was where they basically cemented that the Paper Mario franchise was not going to be what it was kind of beloved for anymore.
Yeah.
And like that, I think, festered into a lot of why
Like
people
that-
hate it so strongly.
That didn't help matters. Like, it's a combination of like that metatextual layer of nostalgia festering in people, but also just a lot of Nintendo fans just don't venture out and play anything outside of their lane and thus never really play, you know, like actually bad games.
I think the other half of it is, like, they hear someone say, oh, this game is awful. So the game is awful now. No questions asked.
Yeah.
They didn't even play it.
As we can for many things on this stream, we can blame Chuggakon.
I don't think he's
Well-
helping.
He is certainly
Oh,
is not.
absolutely not. And the fucking 4-part video essay on the matter definitely does not help.
If anything, it does more harm.
Correct.
I just feel like it's a bunch of unwarranted discourse for a game
It's
that's
an easy...
it's not the best game, but like it doesn't deserve this much hate. Like goodness.
It's
chill.
an easy punching bag at this point.
In the same way that I kind of think Sonic 06 is for Sonic fans.
See, Sonic 06, I just feel bad for, because that feels like a game that should have been good if they were allowed more time in the
potential
oven.
is the thing.
Yeah, if
The
it
concept
wasn't
of Sonic
rushed-
06 was not bad.
if it wasn't
Like-
rushed out for the 2006 release period, that it didn't even meet on PS3,
Sonic
Then-
07.
Sonic 07, then I don't think it would have been nearly as bad as it was. It, like, almost
Golly.
entirely, I feel like Sonic 06's development couple can be pinned down on Sega wanting anniversary game, anniversary game, anniversary game.
Yeah.
Like, a lot of the issues I have with 06 is also what gives me the most joy with it, is just the silliness of level geometry and what you can do with it.
And 5-minute loading screens.
Yeah.
Loading
yeah.
screens aren't great, but
It gives you so much joy.
So
No,
much time to appreciate the joy.
I see some similarities and differences between Sonic 06 and Sticker Star. I think
Yeah.
Sticker Star, has more foundational design problems than Sonic 06 does. Like, Sonic 06 is very much like, it set out to be another adventure game. And
Yeah, and you just
on the
didn't-
conceptual level, it was on the right track. It
Yeah.
just wasn't done.
it was not executed.
Mhm.
And, like, if the loading screens hadn't been ass, if they had more time to, like, fix a lot of stuff, like, if they'd gotten it to the level of jank that the two Sonic Adventure games were, I think it would be beloved like they are.
Well, yeah, absolutely. Because that's
But it
Jeff's
did get
opinion on
there.
SA2.
Whereas,
If you ever,
like,
if you ever want a good quote in quotations time discussing the Sonic Adventure series, because ask Jeff and Unalive their respective opinions on Sonic Adventure 2 versus 1. You'll be there for
I
hours.
have a deeply vested interest in Sonic Adventure 2 at this point in my life. So, I have a lot of opinions about the matter.
Aw,
but-
dang it, he's a farmer.
Aw, dang it.
Golly.
Aw, dang it.
That- Sorry, arborist.
Aw, dang it.
Aw, dang it, he's an arborist.
Let's go gambling. Aw, dang it.
Aw, dang it. Golly.
But I do think, like, I mean this somewhat seriously and somewhat jokingly, but like genuinely, I think people's opinions on whether a game is bad or not can be solved if they played like an actually bad fucking game.
To a point.
To a point, yeah. But it's just like so many people out there are talking about and treating like 6 out of 10 games as if they were like 1 or 2s out of 10.
I mean, because, like, saying something is mid is boring. Saying something is the worst thing ever gets attention.
But I mean, no, mid has just become slang for the worst thing ever nowadays. Let's not kid
Which
ourselves.
is
Also true.
upsetting, because when I say mid, I genuinely mean it okay.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
I've adapted. I could say it's okay now.
I just mediocre has been my go-to for a long time.
Mediocre
Yeah,
has so many negative connotations for most
It does.
people.
It
Mediocre.
does, but, like, I feel
Mediocre.
like it's not like there's a distinction of like if I say it's mediocre, it doesn't quite invoke the same like worst thing ever.
Whenever I
vibe.
hear mediocre, I just think of tapioca.
Alright, mediocre. Mediocre
Tapioca
to
is
me
the
is
mediocre food.
mediocre to me invokes a 4 out of 10, whereas okay invokes a 6 out of 10, and average is, well, 5.
Yeah, I see that.
Like, as Game Guy said, the word mediocre invoking a slightly more negative feeling feels like it's towards the lower end of the it average level.
I can see that.
I could get the Master Sword now, but I kind of don't need it.
Do you want it to have it?
I mean, it would require me finishing the trade quest, which involves climbing up a freaking mountain again. Oh, I'm so glad there's a dirt pile right here.
Back to the present
bang,
with you.
How
Idiot.
fun for me.
Resist the past.
I was trying to go to the past.
Oh, so this is present. Okay.
Yeah, call a
Compare
palette.
the past because
Nope.
it's darker.
Sepia tone. Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, to the comparison one more time though, is like I think Sonic 06 was a good idea that they weren't able to execute well enough.
yeah.
Whereas Sticker Star on a mechanical on a mechanical and like implementation wise is very well put together. Like it looks nice.
It's a very
It
polished
functions
game.
well. It's very polished. It's incredibly polished.
Like the soundtrack is unironically a banger.
Yeah, it's good. I was surprised. I'd mostly just heard the like first grass theme, which is okay. But hearing more of it, I was like, oh, it's actually like good music in here.
Gosh dang World 4 always winning in this game.
Yeah. But,
But like
If
the fundamental problems, no amount of polish really made better.
yeah, if anything, another apt point I feel about Sonic 06, base game Pokemon Diamond and Pearl,
I
foundationally, they feel like they should be a lot better than they are. However,
I someday want to get a hold of a 1.0 Japanese copy of Diamond or Pearl.
I think the craziest part about Diamond and Pearl is that it was delayed.
Yeah.
What's the
And I
difference
find that
between the original
absolutely-
Japanese version and what we got? I'm not
I
familiar.
find it completely fascinating. Like, what must Diamond and Pearl have been like if Game Freak or Pokemon Company or Nintendo did not deem it fit to release?
Like, I think I technically beat Platinum when it came out, but like I played a ton of Pearl.
Oh, I
Back
played a
when it
bunch
was
of Diamond
out.
and Pearl as well. In fact, Diamond and Pearl's the game that got me into the official competitive circuit for Pokemon.
I feel
Yeah.
like I know I had Pearl, but I feel like Diamond Pearl Platinum era was probably when I kind of put way more stock into the third game. Whereas beforehand, it was kind of the opposite. I put a lot more stock into the first game, and I mean, I got the third game, but I ultimately barely touched it.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like Diamond and Pearl was a case where, like, I put a lot of time into Diamond and not as much into Platinum, but that was also during a time where it's just, like, harder to find people who still cared.
Yeah, it's like I played a ton of Sapphire. That was the first and I think only game I actually finished the Pokedex in. Granted, it wasn't the national dex, but still.
Yeah.
Man, remember when they took Pokemon out of the game?
Did it.
But Platinum I almost did, but I also like had an action replay, and so I cheated in a lot of them. So
I
it doesn't really count
also,
anyway.
I think, almost finished Platinum Dex.
I did on the one time that I encountered Palkia in Pearl and caught it, get a shiny Palkia. And I
Dang.
didn't know what that meant for like a year later.
That That was me with Red Gigas in Diamond, except I knew what shinies were at that point because my first one-in with a shiny was with a Makihito in Sapphire that I didn't catch because I was out of Pokeballs.
I'm still trying to determine if I'm gaslighting myself when I say in, like, Gen 2 I ran into, like, a Nidoran that looked weird and I just instinctively ran from the battle because I don't want to fight wilds. I didn't think about it until later. But I don't know if that's a real event or if I made it up.
Well, I mean, it's definitely possible to have happened because you can encounter Nidoran.
Well, I know.
Well, yeah. That much isn't in any doubt.
My first shiny was Fire Leaf Green. I got a shiny Tentacool. And
Mine
I
was-
think I also got a shiny Zigzagoon in Ruby or Sapphire. I don't
There was
remember.
like an event Zigzagoon they gave out that was shiny or something, because I know I got that.
Mine was a wild.
My
Mine was
first,
on-
like, random shiny was probably just, like... There was a Meryl and a Sandshrew. I cannot remember which came first. Like, in Ruby.
And now I'm reminded of Trent finding a shiny in black and white in front of us and Unalive and then KOing it.
Shiny hunting. Hunting.
Yeah, hunting. But no, I do like what I said to Quinn immediately afterwards. It's like it's a good thing you did that in front of us three specifically, because if you did it in front of anybody else, they would be much more likely to actually give us it that you just killed a signing.
And Unalive was pissed because black and white base games that of Pokemon, he says on the record, is his favorite like base game of like generation first game.
Well, more specifically, it's the only generation he's not gotten a natural shiny in, despite having played them like 20 times or so.
Well,
for, like,
no, he's
monotype
gotten a
and
shiny in
multi-
Black 2 White 2.
I mean,
I think he
No,
said, but like
no.
Unova Black White 1, I think was exempt.
no. Like, I definitely remember him talking about how he has done like 20 playthroughs of Black White 1 and never gotten a shiny because of the monotypes he did in that.
Fire.
There just
But
had to
anyway,
be like a
though-
bunch of them, like right in the off-screen zone, didn't there? Oh no. Puppy lasers.
Puppy arrows. I love these statues.
Yeah. Killer.
So she hasn't had a kid yet. Understood.
Dang. Yeah, honestly, cat dreaming, I'm not the biggest fan of a lot of recent Pokemon gimmicks. Like, literally since Mega Evolution. Because, I don't know, they're just kind of glorified win buttons. I know they have more implications in, like, competitive battles and whatnot, but I don't really do those, but...
Yeah.
Terrestrialization, I think, is the best like generation mechanic.
It is, probably.
Well, it's just hard to get invested after, you know, it's the fourth of them in a row. So it's just like, eh.
I've been saying since Megas, I want them to stop.
Yeah. That's the thing, is like when you open the gimmick Pandora's box, you can't really close it.
Like, that's the thing, like, megas, like, everybody loves megas, and I feel like, do you love megas mechanically, or do you love megas, like, conceptually or aesthetically? Because, like, there's a wide canyon of a difference there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like the concepts. I like the designs. I don't.
I
care
like the
about mechanics.
concept. I like the concept and design, but I feel like it is putting a weird limiter on Pokemon, which I'm sure they would break nowadays because they broke it for Gigantamaxes in that, like, Duraludon later got an evolution. So what the fuck, the Gigantamax Duraludon? Who cares?
I think one of my bigger problems is it takes up their item slot. And also you can only do one per battle, which I understand from a balancing standpoint, but that, you know, just kind of makes it a little lame.
The item slot is also balancing.
I'm aware, but...
There's a reason why Mega Rayquaza wasn't allowed to use Z moves. Like, Mega Rayquaza specifically, as it had the free item slot. Which also, incidentally, made it a really good choice.
Did she drop these spiders in the original fight? Because that is the thing that would hint you towards mystery seeds, is if you have, like, a mook that can be spawned that would drop them. So you don't run out. Okay, well that one just drops a Pegasus seed. What am I gonna do with that?
Go fast.
I mean, yes. Oh no. The ghost that is only there on some frames.
I mean, you're screen sharing at 60 FPS, so we saw it on all frames.
I've noticed sometimes it's still a little weird when things are, like, flashing. Oh, you have a lot more health than I thought you did. This is the phase of the fight I always, like, forget about. I like how the links just always have a heart. You fool! I won! On purpose. Golly, are you alright? I mean, the Link copies have enough health and do just kind of get in the way. But they are basically just a distraction. And a small healing opportunity. You won't get away so easily. Oh no!
Stealing Master!
Stealing Master.
Stealing Master.
It's stealing me!
Ah.
Oh no. Not the turtle!
Imagine if turtles could jump.
This one can. I don't have to imagine it. It's happening.
We had a, one place I lived, we had a fenced-in, like, pool area where one side of it had, like, a retaining wall and there's, like, a hill. So, like, you could, like, walk to the edge and, like, jump down. And one day we found a full-size, like, 3-foot-long snapping turtle in that fenced-in area.
Nice.
Awesome.
Yeah, it was a bad time. We just like opened the gate and just hoped that it would leave, and eventually it did.
And then close the gate so it doesn't get back in.
Yeah. Because snapping turtles are not something you want to mess around with.
No, they really aren't.
Shout out to Spider Form being mildly annoying. Ow, you moved very strangely.
My body withers.
Dang. Sucks to suck. Burning blue. Ganon? I don't know who that is. It is kind of weird that Varen is just like, yeah, I possess people and take their powers, but also randomly I can just kind of shapeshift a whole lot, I guess.
I mean, I don't think that's that weird. That kind of feels like it comes with the territory.
I mean, I guess. It just feels like a case of like, okay, you get this power, and this power, and this power, and this. Ooh, I gotta have that power. They were having a sale on the powers at the supervillain store.
I mean, I think Varen got a better deal than Onox.
I don't know, but dragons are cool.
Yeah, but Ghost the Dragon, though.
I mean, is just a dragon cooler than some weird pixie-looking thing, a turtle, a spider, and a bee?
But you also
Dragons
get
are
possessed.
cool.
You also get possessed and thrown into the mix.
I guess.
You could possess a dragon.
Yeah.
Good.
Baron just possesses Onyx. Easy.
Easy.
Best of both worlds.
But like, Onox is just kind of like a big ball and chain knight at the end of the day. Varen at least like has more power sets than literal physical power.
We shall now play ball as if nothing ever happened.
Yippee.
The three rabbits return to normal.
This one's a bit late.
Bonk.
though. Stupid idiot
And
rabbit.
now they're
Dumb,
dead.
stupid moron.
Honestly, it's on the guy / rabbit that was in front. If it saw the others free, it should have gotten out of the way. Momentum
Golly,
is
it's terrible.
released.
I wish I had time for another stream title, because I really should have had one that was something Zelda's Cookies. But I
Yeah.
felt like I needed to reference the time we talked like robots for 2 hours, because when else am I gonna do that?
Yeah. Name.
We could do that right now.
No!
We could not.
We could just not do that. Does MP remember that? Because I think you were there for it briefly.
What are we talking about?
The time during LPIA 2010 where we spent like 2 hours talking like robots.
Yeah. Yeah, that's in there somewhere. I don't know how much I want to take out of that. Mario.
I mean, I guess technically speaking, I maybe should have done it a reference to Zelda Cookies and like the text at the start of the stream. But I didn't.
I'm glad that Zelda's crown is still on.
Well, yeah. They have
Yeah, it
some
would have been awful if
respect.
she lost it somewhere.
Nox. I still don't understand.
Wait.
I'm waiting.
Nox.
Nox. Yeah, they just forgot his name. Golly, the hero. Hooray! It's the red one.
Oh, hi, red one.
Yeah, I never saw a single heart piece from Maple, not that I was really trying to get it. I might be missing one other just in the overworld somewhere, maybe? I don't remember. I wasn't hyper fixated on getting them. I did get the Gasha heart piece in Ages only.
So I wandered to the villains wiki to look at Onox, and then I happened to see in their like main table of information with all of like their name, their other names, where they come from, powers and skills. They have this section called crimes.
Crimes.
Rhymes.
Yeah, the crime section of Villains Wiki is
It's
so fucking
very
funny.
good.
Like, I love unhinged fandom wikis for stuff like that.
Onox
Female
has,
Yu-Gi-Oh card was just something.
Onox has 7 entries. Varen has a scroll bar in first.
Oh no.
Attempted genocide,
True!
enslavement, stalking, identity fraud.
Very literal.
I think one of my favorites is when they note kill count as a statistic, and then you just get the count as kill count none. That's
Body
one of my
count.
favorites. Not to be confused with another type of body count.
Hey, why not both?
I think that's like maybe depending on how you looked at 2 layers of illegal.
Alright. Time for possibly one of the worst fights in the game.
Could
Just this
possibly
part.
3 or 4 even.
Yeah.
Why is fighting Twin Rova, like, just always bad? Okay, apparently I hit you way off screen.
This is a very silly fight. Also, their
Also,
sprites
no.
are all just very silly.
They are very silly sprites.
The Game Boy Color Twin Wolf was like really
I
funny.
like the hit sprite, it's very funny.
I
You
wish
said
I could
Nox
see
again.
Kotake. Kotake? Kome?
I could not
Kotake
tell you
and
which is which. I have no idea.
I know the 2 names. I always forget which one is Ice and Fire because I mixed them up as a child and
Yeah, honestly, I couldn't tell you either.
Kome and
I
Kotaku.
Kome and Kotaku. That's not what they're called.
remember Dragon making that joke once before.
What, you're telling me that not every joke I make is completely original? How dare you?
Yeah, I know, right? It's quite.
Ouchie.
Game Guy,
Nice
you're not
one.
supposed to swim in the lava.
Lava hurts, Game Guy.
This has like a ton of knockback when you hit them.
Buddha.
So why did they become hot when they merged?
You know why.
Well, if you merge with someone who's your exact age, you become a being of half your age.
To be fair,
That match
one of them
checks
is
out.
Fire Element.
True.
and one of them is ice, so therefore being hot and cool at the same time means that, well, you know.
Oh no, she's hot.
Oops.
Oh no, she's dead.
Yeah, it's fine. Golly, it's not over. The gimmick where lava hurts instead of kills you. Oh no. There are only bad places where that can go.
Yeah?
It's Ganon. There he is. Oh, right, okay. Because I don't have the Master Sword, I actually have to spin attack to do any damage.
You know, I remember talking with Skamek once about the Oracle games and Breath of the Wild in relation to the Zelda timeline, and the amount of times Ganon is revived and re-killed in the Hero Falls timeline led us to believe that if you could tie Breath of the Wild to only one timeline in specific, it would probably be the Zelda Falls timeline, as the more times he gets revived, the more mindless he gets. Like, as being the oracles. And then Calamity Ganon Duke is just like, there's no brain in there. But like,
Tears of the Kingdom is bizarre though, because it's simultaneously so far in the future, but also simultaneously so far in the past.
yeah. Tears of the Kingdom's a massive curveball in tying anything to a timeline.
I keep falling for that. I still subscribe to at least my own idea that it's just a case of fate is canon. No matter what timeline you're in, Breath of the Wild will take place eventually.
Oh, yeah, no, 100%.
I think that's the community consensus from what I've seen. Like, what the books of Skamek and I's discussion was about of, if you had to tie Breath of the Wild to one timeline, which one would it be?
I just love Zelda's trope at this point of like, no matter where in the timeline a game is now, there will be events that happened a long time ago.
Jumped.
It's like, we're telling the story of the earliest story in the Zelda timeline when they're making Skyward Sword. And
Yeah,
like,
and then
and the content's like the present day of Skyward Sword is way in the future of some other events that you deal with, and it's like, what do you mean? This is the past. What do you mean there's an even further past and it's like a just barren desert now? And that ancient past of this ancient past had crazy technology.
You know,
It wasn't enough to get rid of beeping?
Game that takes place before Skyward Sword. I want a Cyberpunk Zelda game. You just wanted beeping to go away, right?
Yes. There was no reason, because it was gonna stop during the cutscene anyway, but you know.
Yeah.
Go.
So, okay, Game Guy's just stalling to stall.
Hey, I've got time. I got like 2 hours. What am I gonna do with it?
It's true.
we can have a short prelude of Kaizo Corfu, clearly.
It sounds like an awful idea.
Silly idea. What if one final for rail of Mario Kart 8 Deluxe?
Eh.
Okay. Fair enough.
I've done the old cup tour, like, I can go back to it when I please.
Oh,
but
no.
also, like,
I feel like Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom are a reboot in the sense that they just put it so far in the future that the timeline just kind of really doesn't matter anymore.
yeah. Like, and besides, we have Zoras and Ritos coexisting, like, it's like kind of a mess in its own.
I think they can coexist. I just, again, it's been so long, it just kind of happened at some point.
Yeah. Like, it made me think that, like, in a timeline of Breath of the Wild, like, Rito's existing relative to Breath of the Wild was convergent evolution compared to Rito's existing in Wind Waker.
Yeah.
I did it! I won! Somehow.
Winner!
The winner is you.
It is. Me. The winner.
Alright, I'll get a 512 SD card, Micro Express, next week, Tuesday. Then I'll get an email at some point.
Thank you, golly. The tree is
haven't-
jealous.
I haven't successfully pre-ordered a Switch Waffle. I'm waiting for my pre-order invite email from my Nintendo.
It could be possible you just didn't win the lottery, as I think the My Nintendo sign-up was like a lottery.
No, it was not a lottery for states.
I don't know
Okay.
if it was a lottery or if it was. I signed up for it too, but I was late because I got a pre-order from like another place.
Yo, it's a bread.
Bread.
Hey, Brad.
A bread.
So, Japan's My Nintendo thing was a lottery,
That is very Japanese.
and people misconstrued that United States one would also be when United States one clearly states anyone who, like, signs
first-
up will get a link eventually.
The first invitations to purchase through My Nintendo Store have been going out. Invitations will continue to go out periodically until all eligible registrants receive an opportunity to purchase as they become available.
Yeah.
Due to a high number, we cannot provide exact timing.
Yeah, and in a follow-up email, they even mention that you are still in line to get a Switch 2. It will probably be sent to you after launch, though, and that is fine with me. So,
I'm glad
Like,
Dimitri
it'll
got
come
more
to
than
me
7
when
seconds.
needed.
8 seconds.
like, I'm also not shocked I haven't seen the email yet, because, like, the people who do get the email with, like, their shopping link, they have 72 hours to shop. So it's probably just a case of, like, we have to wait for all valid invites to be closed before they send out the next wave.
Yeah, it's gonna be half the problem because there's no doubt tons of people, myself included, who just signed up just in case and ended up getting a Switch 2 through other means.
Yeah.
Me too. Like, if they give me an option to say no thank you, to hypothetically expedite the process, I'll try to do that, but
Yeah, would be neat, but I highly doubt they did.
Probably not. As it is, like, a lot of my emails for that account go to an account I really don't check very often, so... Cat.
yeah. It's about treat time for this one. And she
Uh-oh.
doesn't remember that it's not my turn. She always yells at me.
Well, you are the human in close proximity.
Well, there's another human on the other side of the house that she likes to walk back and forth between.
Well, then one of them is ignoring, so you're the next one. And if you ignore,
Yeah.
well, back to the first one.
Yeah, that is most evenings here.
Finished LPIA just in time!
Wow.
Wow.
Yippee!
And
What
Jeff
is
was
some-
definitely here.
Hi, Jeff.
Yep.
Jeff
Definitely.
can't hear us right now, so if we say something awful about him, the stream will hear and not him.
Dang.
We can do the ultimate test to see if Jeff is watching the stream. Hey, game guy, pull up a nickname screen to call Jeff Sucks.
That'll definitely work. Every time.
I think it has like a less than 20% success rate.
Yo, flapping planes.
It's crazy how Jeff always decides to look at the screen share when it happens for the most part.
No, it's kind of the opposite.
Alright, who's that Pokemon? Who do those silhouettes belong to, do you think?
I think one of those is Daredillo.
And now the sequel hook for Link's Awakening, despite that being the older game.
I was gonna no, just kidding, actually. They changed the Zelda timeline so that this apparently becomes after Link's Awakening somehow.
Man, that's stupid.
Even though it really doesn't look like that from where I'm sitting, but you know, whatever.
Whatever.
I mean, it doesn't really matter, but it's still.
Ew, secret. To go back again and back and forth.
To get a ring.
Yeah.
Pretty much exclusively, that's all it does.
So what can you do on the Switch 1 while waiting to stall time to go to get the Switch 2?
I don't know.
What was the question?
What can you do on Switch 1 to stall for time for Switch 2?
Sword of Hope.
Possibly true, but no.
I go there and it's like, oh yeah, just get Gruffle Kaizo sorted. Like, just do a bit of that early. 2 hours for a day early.
Maybe. I mean, realistically, the answer might just be end the stream and I'll be back later, because, like, I don't know.
Fair enough, I suppose.
Realistically, I probably should go there a little bit earlier than midnight, as it is, so...
Yeah.
Yeah, I was thinking, like, you should... I don't know how long, but if it's, like, a 5 to 10 minute drive, you could probably leave around 11. But...
I mean, it's not even gonna be, like, 10 minutes. It's, like, 5.
Yeah.
Well, if you already got a number, you don't even really need to worry about it, right?
That's true, also.
With mine, it's just like first come, first
I
served.
think I'm more worried about something like parking.
Fair.
Yeah.
Well, LPIA!
Woo! We
Yeah,
played it again. You sure did.
I did it.
Hi,
Jeff,
you're
I
here in
was
time
in the
for-
call.
You
Yes,
did!
you were here the
Yeah.
entire time.
Yeah.
You're here just in time for the end of Let's Play It Again. Any final words?
Get ready for a game changer.
Well, I mean,
I've
technically you're
been
not
here
wrong.
the whole time. Final words.
Final words.
Yeah.
My final words are that everyone should just chill out and enjoy life. You know?
I agree.
It's all about the journey. It's the friends you make.
It's the roads you choose.
Man, not even ending the stream on a fart joke, but some kind of, like, philosophical, motivational thing. What is this? This is
That
stupid.
definitely was a
The Pokemon anime
entirely that
opening.
and not a specific reference.
A very specific reference to the Pokemon anime dub.
Which season was that?
I think it's like Battle
It's a
Frontier.
battle, win or lose.
It's the friends you make. It's the road.
It's the road you choose.
Got the vibes.
You got stuff, so make your mind up.
Find the courage inside of you. If you're strong, you'll survive.
Survive and you'll keep your dream alive. It's the battle frontier.
There
Pokemon.
it is. Oh
Yeah.
man.
I only
I know what
vaguely
song I'm
remember.
Be the best you can be and give your horse to me.
I doubt that's the lyric.
Yeah.
Okay, end the
I'm pretty
stream.
sure that's it. No, I'm pretty sure that's the lyric.
Goodbye, everyone. I'd say see you next year, but we're gonna see each other in a few hours, probably.
See
Where you
tomorrow.
going, dude?
I have to go get my Switch 2. And then I will
Damn.
come back and play my Switch 2.
More like Switch. Who?
Torpo shill game guy, SMH.
Yeah, you know me.
He's always talking about the latest quarter of sales
Yeah,
for Nintendo.
I just can't stop talking about it.
Well,
That thing that you said, definitely a thing I talk about on the regular.
Anytime game guy.
Hmm?
Could have pressed end screen at any
I could have,
time.
but it's funnier to not.
Game guy, go engage in capitalism.
I will in a few hours. I mean, technically speaking, I already did. There's very little engagement to be made at this point beyond receive my thing.
It is yours, just in their custody.
Yeah.
Sounds like a very, like, messy divorce procedure.
All right, unalive. Say a funny thing so I can end the stream beforehand.
Hey, it's me, Unalive, and I'm gay.
You didn't give me time to. You ruined the joke, unalive. How dare you?
Sorry.